Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology. Now, last week we went on a nighttime raid in the Nighthawk to take out some flat track mobile radar systems, which were forming a core component of the Islamic Egyptian Air Defense Network. Now, unfortunately, our wingman was shot down during this encounter. I believe he was jumped by a flight of Raphaels, if I remember correctly, that were responding to our disturbance, so to speak. So he's dead or captured, and the remnants of his Nighthawk are undoubtedly off to Syria or Iran or Russia or China or whoever, so they can study the wreckage. During that mission, though, we discovered a force of Islamic Egyptian tanks crossing the Suez Canal in a nighttime attack. And that resulted within a few days, I can't remember the exact dates on the briefings, but within a few days for sure, we had been pushed out of the western half of the Sinai Peninsula, and we ourselves were actually operating from an airbase in Egypt. We were operating from an Israeli airbase in the southwestern part of the country when we were ordered to do a combat sweep over Belouza, if I remember correctly, which was our former base of operations. And we even went an extra mile, and we went and we attacked Islamic Egyptian aces patrolling on the western side of the Suez. And for our efforts in destroying combat aircraft in that mission, we were awarded the Medal of Honor. Now that brings us to today, so let's see what we're going to get into this time. Mad Dog, Arish Air Base, date August 17th, local time 0630 hours. Weather clear. Situation: Rebel fighter bombers have breached our barrier defense and are advancing on our airbase. Mission objective: scramble and protect your airfield from enemy fighters. Threat suppression data: ground opposition none, air opposition F4s and Mirage 3s. No second page, fair enough. Simple enough briefing. The game wants us to fly X-31s, we won't do that. Apparently we have some really old F-16s that aren't even the F-16C, so if these are American like they say, then they must be like Air National Guard units or something. But then again, Israel is apparently Arab Egyptian, so take that with a grain of salt. Certainly I remember Ukraine was being registered as Arab Egyptian in the USNF 97 Ukraine campaign, so it's quite possible these are meant to be Egyptian aircraft. And it looks like we do have some Raptors on the ground, so we gotta buy time for them. I would hate to see our Raptors destroyed on the ground. And we are operating on the eastern Sinai this time rather than Israel, so at least we're towing this line sort of, and they feel confident enough to station our Raptors there now. So we will take our Raptor, we will take the standard air-to-air loadout, and we will reduce our fuel to 60% of normal. That should give us some extra agility, and based on those waypoints, I don't think we're going to have to travel far to find a fight. So really, we just need the fuel to afterburn around as we turn in circles around the enemy, as we do circles around the enemy with our vastly superior thrust and agility, which lowering our fuel will help even more. So with that, let's dive into the mission. Alright, radar on, infrared on. These are the same drones we've seen before. I don't hear engine sounds, which it sounds like the game is puking out on us. Let's open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Airborne.
And we're just going to go and do this, since our enemies seem to be behind us. Now I will send my wingman to attack the helicopters, whereas I'm going to try to get out some missiles on the inbound Phantoms, and then Mirage 3s that are escorting them, that are briefing described. Okay, there we go. Damn it! It's not the one I wanted. Oh well. There we go. Now we're going to okay, we got one on the escort. There's one of the F4s. And now we will be taking out the other F4. Alright. Now, the other Mirage 2000, I could care less about. Instead, we are going to turn back and help our wingmen deal with the hordes and hordes and hordes and hordes of gazelles. No! What are you doing, you stupid freaking wingman? Attack. I told you specifically to attack. And that angers me. And that missile failed. The aircraft on the ground are getting pounded. So we'll take a pass at these guys. And yeah, I feel like these AIM-9Xs are buggy or something. They feel worse than the AIM-9Ms. How that counted as a hits. I feel like there should have been more hits. Oh, we got your back, Mr. Comanche. At least someone's doing something out here. Alright, next target. God, I hate dogfighting with helicopters, even in the F-22. Okay. Mission accomplished, thank God. And it looks like the damage to the base is minimal. Thank God. It looks like our strategy of divide and conquer has worked. For better or worse. The Phantoms are all intact. The F-16s are intact. Or sorry, not the Phantoms. The Raptors are intact. The Goldmasters are intact. It looks like their weapons fire fell short of the Hardened shelters, and yeah, we're going to take these drones out so they don't get a chance to reuse them. I'm a little sick and tired of their deceptive practices here. All right, good job, wingman. And as far as our damage, we took no damage, so that's good too. So, considering how quickly they had us scrambled, we really averted the brunt for this attack, which is good. So this should have no impact on our operations. Even the helicopter managed to come out mostly fine. Although I don't know if we started out with one or two. I hope it was just one. But now we can, and we can see we spent a lot of fuel, but that's because we did a lot of afterburning, so I was right to not worry about that. Instead, now we can just focus on getting a nice safe landing. So, God, don't run any NATO on me. Oh, God. So, navigational system engaged. The airfield.
Wind at 13 knots.
Alright, lining up. There we go. Now I think we're finally getting that slower rate of descent we want. And there we have it. Oh, actually, I'm just going to cheat here and turn around, as we are technically back. Run some of that time compression. Alright, so we got got Raptor and F-16 there. I don't see any wreckage, so I think we were completely successful in our mission to protect the airbase. Another Raptor there, so we'll find a nice little corner to park in. Probably this corner right here. That's a little extra thrust. And there we go. Where is the sun even? I'm getting glare, but I guess it's behind that shelter maybe? But I can't see it, so I don't know. It annoys me. Oh, man. So we can do this. Yeah, it would have been a loss if we couldn't save these C-17s. And especially with these fuel trucks out here, man, if those would have blown, all of these aircraft would have been gone. Well, at least in real life. You're just gonna... you're doing your infinite takeoff loop, so I guess that means we're done.
For exemplary service to your country, achieving 45 air combat victories to become one of the highest-ranking combat pilots in the history of modern air warfare, the United States Air Force is proud to award you the Distinguished Flying Cross.
Oh, that was unexpected, although I think with 45 victories, that would... I mean, depending on what you call modern air combat, I mean, if you're talking, like, anything later than, like, Korea, or not Korea, sorry, anything later than, you know, Vietnam, Grenada, that sort of stuff, you know, since the 80s, I think we would simply be the top ace in the world at this point. Hell, even at this point, we certainly would outdo anyone in Vietnam, I think, on the American side. Maybe even most of those on the Vietnamese side. I think we would outdo a lot of Korea War pilots, and I mean, at this point, I think our only real competition is maybe some Israeli pilots in the Israeli Arab Wars and the and some Axis pilots in World War II, since they didn't rotate their pilots out for training like the West did. In any case, debrief. Arish Air Base, date August 17th, mission Mad Dog, resolution success. Not only did you destroy the enemy's multi-million-dollar fighters, you saved the lives of your fellow pilots back at the base. Good work. So, we protected the 8 friendly objectives, which, let's see, 2 C-17s, 2 F-22s, and an F-16. That's 5. With the Comanche might be 6, and I assume like the control tower and something else would make 8. Let's see, neither of us took damage. We had 5 victories, which were, let's see, 5 fighters. Trying to think, there's 2 Mirage 3s and 2 F-4 Phantoms. I could have sworn we had a Gazelle or 2. I don't know where the 5th fighter's coming from, but our wingman has the 2 drones and 2 Gazelles, so yeah, we had problems with the AIM-9Xs. I just can't get over the fact they just feel so like they don't track the Gazelles, and I seem to remember the AIM-9Ms working pretty decently against helicopters in the Kuril Islands. I don't know, maybe my memories are wrong, but that's what I seem to remember, so I don't know why the AIM-9Xs have trouble with the Gazelles unless their heat signature is that tiny, which I would doubt, but then again, they are a pretty small helicopter. Our wingman had, well, he launched less missiles, but I think his failure rate was probably the same. Yeah, we missed a bit with our gun. Let's see, we mostly spoofed enemy launches, the rest failed to acquire properly. So at this point, we can just do maintenance on our Raptor and call it a day. So thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time. We'll see you then.